Hello. Just gonna test my voice real quick. There we go. I think I can hear myself. We should be good. Let me mute that. Hello everyone. How is everyone doing on this fine Friday night or afternoon or wherever you guys are? NK, hey, welcome to the stream. Glad to see you again. Emily, yeah, you're finally early. I'm saying that as if like you've been joining a lot, but I mean like, yeah, welcome to the stream. We're gonna start really soon. Just let me set up real quick. I'm a bit late today. I'm not gonna lie. I'll kind of try to do around like 10:30 p.m. my time, but it's almost 11. It's almost 11, which kind of sucks. But yeah, sorry, apologies for that, guys. But we're gonna make it worthwhile. We'll stay a little bit longer on the stream and stuff. But yeah, hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you guys are all fine and whatnot. We're gonna start really soon. I haven't done anything other than what I mentioned in the stream. Hold on, I need to turn this music down because it's getting me confused with my words. So anything that I mentioned that I was gonna do off stream yesterday, which was just like moving like one section of the entire build off to the side, that is pretty much the only thing that I did. So I'll just showcase that to you guys. It's not really that noticeable, to be fair, but yeah, I'm really glad that you guys made it early. Really happy to see you guys there. Thank you so much. And welcome to the stream once again. So let me just hop into the game real quick. Let me get my references. Second. That music is not it. So let's change that real quick. Okay. So we're going to be just continuing adding the rest of the windows. Even though yesterday was quite a chatty stream, we did get quite a bit done, to be fair. Like I did mention like how I feel like we barely got anything done, but this is pretty good. We got the entire shell of the entire home done. That's like the main thing that takes a lot of time with a build. So glad that that's kind of like out of the way. Only thing we have now is doing the like textures and whatnot, and of course the windows in certain areas. So yeah, I think it's coming along very nicely. The only part that I'm kind of just like a bit worried about, like skeptical about, is this like little balcony area that we have over here. It's okay, but like, you know, I feel like it doesn't really match that like modern, like sleek modern aesthetic that we're trying to go for, but it's something that is incorporated in the real life home, so we're going to keep it. And so this is what I did. So I extended this part out a little bit. As you guys can currently see, we have a lot more wall space on this side, which is great because we're going to be able to just make this garden area feel a little bit more spacious. And I know it's not really symmetrical on this side as well. To be fair, we could just move this in a little bit so that it's like dead on, like, you know, centered. I think that's going to look so much better. So we're going to do that real quick. See, I didn't think of that when I was moving this entire structure. I don't know if you guys can notice that I moved this, but I did actually move it by like 2 tiles just out this more. So this part is just a little bit more smaller. It's going to be like a little garage area and stuff, so nothing too crazy on this side of the home. So don't want to like the what is it called, I don't want to make it like take up so much random space because it's like a fake garage area. Hand on, hey, welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for joining. I really do appreciate it from the Twitch side, in case you guys are wondering. I really appreciate that. Thanks so much for joining. What was I going to say? I lost my trail of thought. But yeah, so this is where we're going to put the garage areas. And obviously you guys know there's no cars in the Sims, but we're going to add like a nice little fake design and stuff like that, trying to make it look realistic and stuff. And yeah, so hold on, wait, I moved this, but I didn't change the roof area. So let me just do that real quick. I think it actually looks a lot nicer when it's a little bit thinner anyway. So yeah, just kind of like nudging it off a little bit. And we're going to move on into directly adding these doors and windows to this side of the build. I don't know what you guys tend to do in your Sims 4 builds, but personally for me, I do my wallpapers first and then I do the windows. I just feel like that's kind of easier for me. But for this build in particular, I did it like completely opposite, which is a bit weird, but I kind of wanted it to like be structured, like make sure that everything kind of like fit nicely. So let me just go to the paneling real quick, because if I don't know if you guys noticed, but on the top floor they actually use these like wooden paneling. Not this one, but something about let's see, hold on, believe it's this one from Cats and Dogs. But you know what the thing is, yeah, in the real life home, you barely see the second floor because it's covered a lot. So you don't really see that wooden paneling effect. But we're going to keep it for our one. It's going to look very ultra modern, but I think it's fine for now. We'll change it up later on as well. And we're also going to use, I already know that I want to use the cottage living wallpaper because it's not even a wallpaper, it's like stony texture and stuff. But I mean, everything in The Sims is wallpaper, you know. So yeah, this one in particular, I feel like this works very nicely for these type of homes. It's very minimalistic with the brick texture itself. And when you zoom out, it kind of like looks like a bit of like a dirty wall. It doesn't really look like a proper sort of like bricked wall, if that makes sense. And I think that's pretty cool. So we're going to do that all the way around the entire build. So I think I'm going to go with this white swatch instead of the sort of like orangish one, because even though the real life home kind of has like that beige look to it, I don't know if this one is a bit too bright for it. It might be a bit too bright. But you know what, let's be a bit more colorful. Let's just go for this, because a lot of people always complain how I don't use a lot of color in my build. So you know what, let's go for that. Bit more bright, open and airy for you guys. And I'm gonna move this wall out a little bit more. It's still gonna be like a cantilevered, but just want it to be, you know what, let's do that a little bit more, so it's like 1.5 little gap here, which is pretty cool. And since we did that, we might as well do it for this as well. I don't know why I didn't leave this one cantilevered. This one is also cantilevered. I probably got confused and carried away when I was doing it yesterday. Yeah, let's just do that real quick. See, like this side of the second story, it's completely brick like this one. And if we don't like this wallpaper, we will like discuss it and like find something else to replace it with. I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. It's kind of just like a nice little starter to work off of. Why is it so harsh? Oh, okay, it's because I had it selected, my bad. Okay, so let's check what else have we got. We got all of this stone all the way around here as well, covering all of this, and I think we're just going to paint this for now as well. And I completely forgot to color these textures in with the roofing as well, so let's just do that real quick. And let's do it for over here as well. You know what, we might as well just do it everywhere, because it's kind of like the main color design for this entire home. And let me just do it over here. And for these little what are these called, these fireplace areas, I keep forgetting what they're called. They're the chimneys, but like I just call them fireplace. I think they're just a little bit easier. It makes a bit more sense, to be honest. And just gonna go all the way around the entire build once again, doing a bunch of this. The reference image has a lot of foliage and greening, 100% Emily. Yeah, like a lot of these like curved sort of flower beds and stuff around like the front area of the build. We're gonna do a lot of that for sure. We're gonna try to mimic it. And I also noticed, I don't know if you guys seen that, but in the reference image there's like a little step up that meets you up towards like the entrance of the build. We're also going to do that as well, but let me just do the wallpapers and the windows, and we're definitely going to be moving on to that in this episode, like it's a whole separate video, but in this live stream. So hopefully we'll be getting so much more done, and probably potentially just like stopping once we move on into like just before we do the interior, you know, because I want to make sure that you guys also check out the main channel video as well. It's going to be a lot more detailed and stuff, because it's just a bit quicker to do that kind of like interior design and stuff like that offline. Tamon got me avocados. Great, I'm happy if you like avocados. I mean, personally, it's not really my thing. I don't know. There's something about avocados that's just a bit slimy for me. I don't know. Maybe I haven't given it a chance. I haven't had like proper like default stuff like avocado on toast or whatnot. So maybe I'm missing out, you know. So personally, for me though, I think I had it once in like a salad in like a restaurant, and I was really young and I didn't really understand what it was, so I just immediately despised it. But maybe if I give it a go as like an adult now, I think I might like it a little bit more. Who knows? Tam, will you be updating the house for like Christmas and stuff? That would be really fun to do, you know, for like if we do it on like stream or as like a separate video. I don't personally go back and update the houses, I'm not gonna lie, but if you guys have any like homes that you like that I built like many years ago, even like recently, and you guys are like, hey Tan, you know what, you should do this as like a stream and renovate it, even if you guys are watching like the VOD and if you guys have a suggestion, I actually consider it, because it's kind of like a fun thing to do, going back and like refurbishing it with a lot more of the new packs or kits even, or even like the CC, who knows, like whatever you guys want, we could just like try to figure it out and see how it goes. Oh, wait, this is weird roofing going on over here. Let me fix that real quick. There we go. Let's just do that. That's not bad. We kind of have this sort of design where the half roof sort of thing is kind of like poking out from this side, so it kind of just like is like a nice little repeated effect over there. And by the way, I saw your guys' messages a little bit late, so that's the main reason why I just replied to them a little bit later than usual, so I do apologize for that. But I did scroll down completely now, so I know I can like see the chat a little bit more clearly now, so hopefully I won't be a little bit like any more later, you know. Yeah, let me just adjust this real quick because it's a bit weird. It's not, I want it to be like perfectly connected like that. Hey Louise, thanks so much for joining. Welcome to the stream. Really glad to see you here tonight as well. And all of you, to be honest, thank you so much for sticking by and like joining again. I really do appreciate every single one of you, seriously. But yeah, if you want like a little quick rundown, we as I mentioned like yesterday before the stream ended, I was going to just nudge this off to the side just a little bit more because there's like a little fake garage area and I wanted to not use up too much space over here. So kind of just did that, and that is pretty much where we're at right now. And we're adding a bit of the wallpaper and the flooring, not the flooring, sorry, all of like the different wallpapers throughout this entire build for now. We're kind of going for this like creamish color for like this brick texture as well around the exterior, which is the one that came from the cottage living expansion pack, in case you guys are wondering. It's this one in particular, Brick Whisper. And the main reason why I went for this is because the brick detailing is very subtle, and I think it's going to be quite a nice little thing to use throughout this entire build, especially since the home is so big. I want to make sure that the detailing is like not like so complicated, you know. And we actually have a bit of wooden paneling going on over here, so let me just do that real quick. And I feel like, you know what, we can actually extend this out a little bit more, just exaggerate the shaping out just a bit more. I think that's going to make it look a little bit more defined. And let's push this all the way to the edge. Oh, I don't like how it's kind of like poking through that, but I don't think I have a choice unless I make this bigger. Nah, it doesn't really change it. I mean, I guess it's going to stay like that. I mean, it's not that bad, but personally, if I wouldn't have wanted that. Wait, you know what? Let's move it in and then just, there we go. So it's like, but then again, it's not like at the edge. That's a bit annoying. I don't like how it crosses over like that. So you know what, we're going to do something like this. There we go. That's a bit better. So let's just do what we need to do over here. And you know what, before we, oh, Kylie's house for Christmas, yeah, that could be really fun, to be honest. We could do something like that for sure, especially since I think, if I remember correctly, they always host like Christmas parties in real life. I think I saw something to do with like Kim Kardashian's one, mainly because it was like so expensive. I don't know what she did though. Like I think she just like put a bunch of different things inside of her home, and I saw like a lot of these like repeated Christmas trees everywhere. I don't know, like it looked kind of cool. We could do something like that ridiculous on stream on like Christmas time. Who knows, like we could have like seasonal streams or whatever. That could be pretty cool. And did I just paint this roof? Yeah, I did. Let me add a few windows. Once again, we're going for these base game windows in certain areas. And I was mentioning earlier when I first added this wooden paneling over here, like I don't really like 100% how it looks, so I might end up changing it later on. But for now, to stay true to the real image, I am going with it solely because it just matches it the best at the moment. And it is the one that came from Cats and Dogs, in case you guys are wondering. And you know what, this grayish color works a little better, so I'm going to just change it up a little bit real quick. That sort of like dark brown color is a bit too sharp and is not really accurate to the image. The image is mainly like beige and grayish sort of color tones and swatches, so I'm going to try to stay true to that, as you guys already know. Always trying to go for that realistic sort of design and vibe. You know what, I'm going to run this design all the way down over here as well. And I'm noticing that there's like a little gap over here. We'll fix that in a moment, or later on. I'll just fix that in my own time, but yeah, just small little things like that always have to get fixed. But yeah, I think this main compartment is going to remain bricks, and then this is going to be, wait, let me just change the lighting a little bit. It's a bit too annoying, you know, a bit tricky to see. Like this, you guys are going to see it much better. You guys can see the difference between the textures and stuff. And let's see. You know what I really like about her home? She has like a plain white door, sorry, for the entrance, and it looks really big, like a fully covered one. It's not a glass one, so this could work pretty cool. But it kind of looks like an interior door, does it not? And I need to also, as I mentioned a few moments ago, we noticed how this entire home is on a platform or like a foundation, so we need to also make sure that we incorporate that. But the only issue is I don't know if I want to incorporate a platform or a foundation, because if I do a foundation, it's going to be a lot easier for me, I think. Oh, never mind. I think we're going to have to go with platforms. Why is that not working? Ooh. What the hell? Is it because of the pool area? What the hell? It's not because it's on the edge of the lot. Surely not. Might be because of the column. Right? Cannot connect blocks from different levels. Is it weird? What level? It's all getting raised up. I don't get what it's trying to say. It's not the flooring, because the flooring will automatically go up as well. It's so weird. I never came across this issue, you guys. I create so many mansions and I don't have this issue. It's so odd. I'm sure it's because of either the flooring, even though it shouldn't be. Probably either the flooring or the paneling itself. I mean the fence pieces. Yeah, it's probably the fence pieces. You know what? I'm not gonna bother with that. Then I'm gonna leave it for now, because it's just gonna be a hassle to deal with right now. Trying to find what's like the problem. Might as well just get most of the house done and then worry about that kind of stuff later on. But for now, still use a bit of platforming. We are using the tallest wall height for the main story of this build, so there is a lot going on anyway. So I don't mind being able to just like use up a bit of that height for the sort of like platforming and design and stuff. So let's do that. Let's just do that real quick. Don't want to merge these two. Let me just go back real quick. Place another one, and that should be it. I think we're gonna only have like 2 stories, something like this. This should be fine. Something like this, potentially. Could even get rid of this so it kind of looks like a three-tiered sort of staircase, even though it's on the flat ground, but still adds a bit of variation to the home in my opinion. And we also can't forget to incorporate some of these curved floor pieces, because we're going to be able to like house a few foliage pieces in them. As you guys can currently see from the reference image, there's a lot of these cool sort of like curved bits that are kind of like flower beds surrounding her entire home, which I think is going to be a very nice addition, because I'm not the greatest when it comes to adding so many like details. Wait, hold on. I still can't raise it. Never mind. Okay. I thought I could raise it for a second, but I can't. I guess we're just going to raise it up using the platforms for now. Even though that wasn't really the goal, but... You know what? Actually, wait. Hold on. I'm not going to raise up the platform. I'm going to leave it like one sort of like tile down, because I want to use like a really short fence piece. Like a really plain, clear one. Something like this, potentially. Oh, wait. Not that. This. There we go. Something like this, which is like plain. No, I'm going to try to make the front area as accurate to the real life image as possible. I think we do have space. The only thing we don't have is like, you know where that black car is with like that really long graveled sort of like gray driveway sort of thing? We're not going to have that, but we'll have like the foliage and whatnot. We can actually use, hold on. We could use this flooring from Businesses and Hobbies. One of my go-tos. As I mentioned in my last stream, one of my favorite packs to build with. It's just very versatile for my modern builds. Where is it? Hold on. There we go, this one. It literally looks like the one in the image, like that grayish sort of tiling that you see at the front area of the home. I mean, I don't want it to go all the way towards the edge, so I'm going to get rid of that. probably around here as well. But then again, I kind of want like a fake driveway sort of thing over here, but we're not gonna be able to do that, unfortunately. So could try to do something like this. I mean, that's fine, I guess. It's not that bad. This is free at the moment. Let me just do. I don't really like how it's at the edge of the lot. Kind of like annoys me a little bit. We'll figure that out later on as well, but at the moment it's not my favorite design at the moment. But my main goal right now is like trying to get the main structure of the home built a little bit more correctly. So we have some sort of what is it called, like a little flower bed over here, and then we have another one of these staircase sort of things that lead you up to a secondary door on this side of the home. Kind of just like has a bunch of different like walkways and compartments spanning throughout this entire home. So I'm just going to go back on one of my other references real quick just so I get a bit of a clearer view of what I'm working with. You know what, I'm actually noticing that there's a bit of like, there's this and then this is all flat. So if you guys were wondering what the hell that little gap was there, I have no clue, but I think it's a bit more like this, you know, in the real life home at least. And can't forget to, I don't know, I really don't like this. Like, I know I mentioned how in the last stream, like I like the unique use of all of like the roof pieces and stuff, but it's kind of starting to annoy me now because it creates stuff like this in The Sims. Like we can't just like cut that little corner out, you know. So we're also going to use a lot of these steel columns. They seem to be pretty much like one-to-one with the real life home one as well. Like they're quite accurate. So we're going to be using those throughout this entire build. And I'm going to move this like 2x2 tile, completely eradicating it completely. We don't need it. And we're going to add, let me just go up by 2. So here's going to be like a little stairway able sort of like place, and we're going to be able to just like house a lot of empty space over here. We're going to have a bit of seating and whatnot. But yeah, I would have used foundations in this situation, but they're not really working right now with me, so I'm not going to bother with like trying to deal with them. So we're going to be using these platforms, and I think it's going to just give the same effect anyway. It's not really that deep. But yeah, it has like a nice little curve that goes all the way down here as well. So I'm just going to, oh no man, I can't copy that. So we're just going to have to redo it all over. I'm going to get a thingy around the platform this time. I'm still going to, whoops. I think I'm going to still stick with the small curve here because we don't have a lot of space to work with. I'm going to push that out a little bit. And once again, just pushing it out again. And, oh wait, I should have raised it up a little bit. Hold on, my bad. Let me just raise it up. There we go. So it's kind of just like, has a bit of difference, you know? And I feel like we're going to change these fence pieces, but I just wanted to showcase it to you guys, like what the vision was. I wanted like a plain white wall going around here. We could technically use half walls. Do they go around curves? Do they not? They don't. That's how does that not go around curves, man? That would have been so good if it did, but we could use the one that came from the Grown Together pack. Hold on, where is it? This one. Oh no, Eco Lifestyle, my bad. No. This one's not bad, but it's quite tall, you know? I wanted something that was like pretty much like half the height of this. Recreating the cars? In what sense? Like getting like custom content cars like that are based off of their real life cars. I haven't really tested anything like that, to be honest. But I just use the fake cars that are in the game. So if we go to, I'm currently using Better Build by mod. If you go to transportation, you guys can see that we have a few of these like fake toy cars. The creator of this mod, Twisted Mexi, he actually sized them up so they look like real cars, which is really cool. So these are the cars that we will be using within this build, which I think are pretty cool. I think it just fits that like Sims 4 style a little bit nicer as well. But yeah, this wall is like, I really like it, don't get me wrong, but we just need something that's a little bit shorter, you know? It's not really, it's way too tall. That's even taller. This one is fine, but it has like that little indent, you know, like in between, and I don't like that. So this one could, wait, this is really good. Oh wait, this one doesn't come with like a white swatch, and it has like the little grouts in between. But yeah, this is like another option that we have, which is literally the same thing as this eco lifestyle wall. It's just, you know, it's the same height and everything. So I'd rather just use the eco lifestyle one, to be honest. But yeah, that's like the only dilemma that we have right now, because trying to make the exterior look accurate as well, you know, the foliage and whatnot. And there's no we can't even use like debug mode objects because we have a curve. We have to deal with this curve, and it's like the main issue. We could always go back to the first one that we added, which is, let me see, was it, what is that? What the hell is it? We literally just used it like 2 seconds ago. This one? No. What the hell? We literally lost it. But this was the one that had like that dent thingy. Wasn't this one? What the hell? I literally completely lost it. I don't think it was gonna work anyway, but this would have been cool. This is like too short, you know, like it's way too short, but I don't hate it either. We could go for this for now. We could just change it later on, because I don't want to spend too much time just trying to figure out what we want to go for. So we just push this all the way out. I know I got rid of the column, we'll fix that in a moment. But yeah, this flower bed thing literally goes all the way around, which is crazy. It's a very big amount of like flowers and stuff. Hay fever would be hating. I mean, like anyone with hay fever would hate this home in real life, obviously. You know what? Now that I'm noticing the build, I think there is like a bit of an indent here, but I don't know. It just doesn't really like look that great, you know, when you have so many different indents and stuff. But we're still gonna create it because we're trying to go for accuracy. Let me just copy these same snowy escape doors and windows. But yeah, like everyone always asks, like, oh, what packs do you use in this build? But they're 90% always the same stuff. I always go back to using the same stuff, so you don't really lose out too much when you download something off of the gallery from my page and stuff. Oh, I want to place a window here, but it's going to be a bit too squished. So I'm going to take something that is a bit thinner, something like this, and just place it here instead. And I think we're going to do it on that side as well. And we're just going to place a nice little door over here. And this one is a glass one, so we need to find something that is a bit appropriate. We could go for the business hobbies one. This is not a bad contender. We can also go for this, which is just the greenhouse haven one. That's not bad either, to be fair. And can't forget, we could also go for, wait, you know what, the thing that I'm thinking about is like these French doors, but they are really tiny and they don't really work that nicely on like these really tall wall heights. We could go for this one from business hobbies as well, but it's way too short. Kind of having like a shortness issue with these doors and stuff. We could go for this. This is a pretty nice one. If it's base game, always works in all of my builds. Pretty steep. What do you guys think? Do you think it looks a little bit too small for this wall, or is it compatible, you know? It's looking a bit weird with these windows though, like they're not aligning properly. I mean, we could just move this real quick so it's a bit more in line. And also notice how we have a bit of a weird spacing in between here, and in the real life image it kind of like leads you directly up. So I'm gonna push this back a little bit, just probably just like one tile, to be honest. Don't really need to make it too much of a difference. That's looking a bit weird. Let me just get rid of that. What the hell? Is it because of this? Yeah. That's really weird. What the hell? I mean, we could do this to get rid of that, I guess. Hold on. There we go. I mean, I didn't really want to do that, to be honest, but we could use the business, I mean, not the business, the get to work pack flooring, which is pretty much like a plain thing. See, why does it do that? Like, I know it's from this floor thingy, but it should be able to like cover it, you know? Fine then, you know what? Let's just use like bigger, something like this. That kind of covers it, but I don't really want to incorporate that over here. You know what, I might go for something like this for now. But you know what, this one is a bit more subtle. Let's go for this. And then we'll end up changing it later on if we don't like or if it catches our eye a little bit too much. But I think it's going to be fine for now. I'm going to do the exact same thing over here just to get to work expansion pack fencing pieces all around here. I think it just adds a bit of like a highlight as well, you know, just like makes it look a little bit more brightened up and a bit more polished. That is a good idea, Emily. Yeah. The only issue is though, I wanted the like flower bed area thingy to be a bit elevated. And we also have, you see how we have like this like different story variation, the height thingy. I wanted to make sure that it matched it a little bit, but we could go taller actually, you know. We could go taller and then zoom it out, take it out a little bit. See if it's like that on the corner, I don't mind it, but because it was in the middle out of nowhere, it looked a bit weird. See, like now it's just, what the hell is going on? See, these half walls are so cursed, man. Like look at that, it's just floating in the air. This little like corner piece. It's not even touching this. It's so random, but anyway, it's fine. We're gonna work around it. We're gonna fix it. Let me add another one of these flooring pieces over here real quick. Let me raise this up. Should be fine. There we go. I think that looks a lot better anyway. I think it just matches a lot nicer. And can't forget we need to do the exact same thing on this side as well. It's going to be a bit of a less of a hassle though, because kind of more like single leveled, if that makes sense. So over here we actually have these panels, and it's kind of something like this. I know we don't have a lot of space, but technically something like this, which is a bit more accurate to the real life image. So you know what, I'm literally just thinking about how it's going to be a nightmare once we move on into creating the interior, because it's just, there's a lot to think about with these like little compartments and stuff. Okay, just using this nice little base game modern little window in this like little corner area. Just kind of like this little section reminds me of a shed. I don't know why, but if I just add a door, it just would complete it, to be honest. But yeah, we also have this like little flower bed thingy on this side, so I'm going to try to replicate something similar to it. To be honest, on this side it looks like it's a single, I know I should have used a platform, but it's fine, whatever. This side looks like it's leveled, like it's on a flat ground. It's not really elevated, but I'm still going to elevate it because with the platforms, of course, not foundation, because it's not working. And I think it's just going to work a lot nicer, to be honest, just by doing it this way. And then there's like a really huge curve on this corner that leads you into like the driveway area, but instead I'm just going to use a bigger curve, and I think that's just going to make it look a little bit nicer, to be honest, because using too many of these small curve pieces is going to look a little bit too repetitive. So just going to change it up here and there. So I think we went by 3 levels. Yeah, okay, great. Let me just move this as well. But yeah, if the platforming is way too tall, we'll end up changing it later on, so don't worry. But we are using the tallest wall height, so it's going to look like it's a median wall height in the interior, which I think is pretty cool. It will give us the opportunity to like play around with it as well once we move on into the interior, with like moving like different heights and stuff, because I know sometimes it does mess about with the wallpapers and stuff, which is a bit jarring, but we're going to figure it out. We're going to fix it, make it look very nice. But I think it's coming along super nicely. It's very sleek, even though we don't even have a front door. So let's just get that down real quick. We're going to be using a big plain white door, and I know I mentioned this in the start of the stream, but I really like this one for some reason. I feel like it just works perfectly. I don't know if it looks like an entrance door, but I'm still going to use it as one for now. If I notice later on in the stream that like it's not really that working that well, we'll change it, but for now we're going to stick with it. It's not really clear what her one looks like either. It's just like completely plain white without any glass. And there's something that came from the Desert Lux kit. It's kind of like a, I don't know what it's called, but it's like one of those things that you hang along the wall and it like provides shade or whatever. So I'm going to try to find that really quickly. I think it's in kits real quick. Where is it? Desert Lux, there we go. There we go, this. Well, that's way too big. I'm going to lower it down a little bit. And let's just place it right over here. And I'm going to place 2 of these side by side. And you might be like, what the hell is this guy doing? But trust the process. We're going to make it look really good. I'm going to obviously change it to plain white color. And now we're going to try to like enclose it, if that makes sense. So we're just going to add a little wall over here real quick. And get rid of the roof, the walls. And there we go. Now we have a nice little base to work off of. And I'm gonna just copy this and pretty much just enclose it like this, something like this. And if it looks weird, we'll end up changing it and stuff, but I think it's gonna work out pretty cool. So just doing this all the way around it, and I'm noticing it's not centered, so we're gonna have to fix that real quick. Push it out. There we go. And I think, you know, in the real life home, there's like 3 different compartments, and I don't think we're going to be able to do that in The Sims. So we're going to have to just like keep it like this. It looks a little bit bulky. Oh, you know what we can also do? We can also do this. Hold on. Wait, I think it comes in Eco Lifestyle. Let me see. The spandrels. It doesn't. But basically what my goal was to do something like this. Hold on. Where is it? There we go. This one. And just make it go all the way around, but get rid of this flooring. Does that make sense? But you can't do that. So that's why I was like, oh, if I use a spandrel, you know what, let's try with the spandrel one. It's not gonna hurt, you know. So let's just try it real quick. It's gonna be something like this. Oh, but yeah, it's not connected, so it's gonna look really weird. We could try to size these up technically, but I'm gonna then use a tool mode for that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. The goal is to, hold on, let me push this because I want to make sure that it's centered. So let's say we do this, and then we use a spandrel, something that probably looks like the one that came from Eco Lifestyle. I don't think we have anything though. We have this, but this is like very construction like. Not what we're going for. We need something that feels a little bit more clean. See, the only issue I have with spandrels is like, you know how like at the edges it does this? I really don't like that. It's gonna cause a bit of issues for this build, so let's not do that. How about this one? This one could work pretty good. This one's pretty nice. See, it's like, you know how like we wanted that wall that like kind of like goes around the perimeter of this like little shading bit? No, it's alright. Thank you so much for that, NK Edits. Even if you just watch, I really do appreciate it. Eddie, yes, thanks so much for joining the stream on the Twitch side. Thanks so much for that. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, I really do enjoy playing this game. And yeah, I do read chats. I'm just a little bit slow because I focus on the build. And because I have the YouTube chat and Twitch chat open on separate devices, I have to like look at one either sometimes, like occasionally. But yeah, so I do take a glance here and then, just like make sure that I don't skip anyone's message and stuff. But obviously just like trying to make sure that the live doesn't stay still, because I'm very good at just like talking and not doing anything. So yeah, I've got to make sure that I don't just make you guys watch something that is like, you know, nothing. But yeah, let me just make, you know, I was also thinking, let's just do this real quick. I'm gonna add a line in between. Oh no, wait, whoops, open the tool mode for on accident. But yeah, let me just do this real quick. So you see how we have like these little gaps in between over here, and then this central bit is a bit bigger. That's intentional, and that is kind of like the goal of this. And we're just gonna add a bit of these spandrels over here, and it might look a little bit ridiculous right now, but I think it's gonna work pretty nicely. So let me just select these things real quick. the shade and just scale object. Yep. Let's do, wait, let's do one real quick. Okay, one's way too big, so we know it's not that. Let's do 0.6. 0.6 is pretty good. It does like overhang a little bit. It's not that bad, you know. Like I'm not mad about this design, to be fair. I know it kind of like gets rid of that middle design thingy, but I mean there's not really much that I could do about that, to be fair. What do you guys think about this design? Do you guys think it looks weird? But I feel like it kind of matches what is in the real life home if you guys have seen it. And I think we can also add a bit of these columns and stuff as well. I think I'm going to just go for the plain white ones, but I don't know. I really don't know. We could, oh wait, I completely forgot to add the concrete, the steel column thingy on this side. So let me just add that real quick. Plain white, and let's add this over here, and of course another one over here, and we can just raise it up a little bit. That looks pretty cool to me, to be honest. Like, I don't really mind it, but you guys can let me know what you guys think. See, the issue is now the second story of this home in the real life image is completely empty over here. Obviously in the Sims we can't do that, it's going to look really weird, so we're going to have to incorporate something over here and make it look a little bit more interesting. We could also move these columns a little bit, something like this. So it's like really close to the wall, but it's not on it, you know? That is way off. Need to move it way in, like that. Right? I think that's a bit nicer, a bit more accurate. I need to move it in a little bit more. Now, why is it held? Does it keep going to the side? It's so annoying. There we go. Okay, that's literally all I wanted to do. Just like move it a little bit to the side. I'm just gonna lower it a little bit, and can't forget to add a bit of these windows and stuff right above here, because it looks way too weird just by like leaving it like that, doesn't it? It looks a bit too weird. It looks like an unfinished build. So we're gonna add a nice little appropriate window. I just don't know what we could do, to be fair. This window is so nice, but it's just way too big for this home. I don't want to use a short window, to be fair, and like kind of like stack a few along each other, like horizontally. Essentially something like this, I guess. It's not really accurate to the home because it doesn't really exist, but I don't think we have another choice, you know. Yeah, I'm just gonna add a few of these over here as well. I think I'm gonna also incorporate a few of the businesses and hobbies windows over here as well. So this one, yeah, perfect. If it's the same, oh, it's not. It's way too small. What the hell? This one is really tiny. Okay, I guess we're not going to be using that. We're going to be using these instead, which are the base game ones. Just going to even them out a little bit though. Oh, you know what? It looks a little bit too spaced apart, so I'm going to move it back. There we go. And you know what? The rest of this is completely empty in the real life home, which is really annoying because it doesn't really line up with the sim. So, I don't know. It's not really going to work out one-to-one, which kind of sucks, but And this one low-key had like a gap in between it, so I'm gonna just use the tiling thingy, the fence panels, and just try to add like a little custom gap in between, and I think that works nicely. And once again, just like another little window over on this side, and this is where the businesses and hobbies one comes in clutch, because it's really small, so it just works a little bit better than the base game ones in this situation. So let's just go short windows and find that. Where the hell is it? We literally, there we go. Sometimes I lose the same windows that I've been using the entire time. I just lose them. And I just like search for them. We're just gonna make sure that they're aligned with these other windows as well. You know what? We can also raise these up, to be fair, because we are using really tall walls, and if you don't use them properly, they look really weird. Kind of looks nice in the middle though. You know what? Let's keep it like that. Oh, you know what I noticed? We can just open up the eaves a little bit so it looks like it's covered up a lot more. I think that's going to help. You know what? I don't know why I've not used eaves for this build. There's a lot of eaves throughout the real life home. Don't know why I neglected that, but we're just going to go around the entire build and just add a few of these eaves back, because for some reason I think I just copied and pasted a lot of the same roofing, so just didn't apply to any of them. But I think the eaves definitely do help a lot nicer for this build. Let's just do that real quick. You know, that was kind of like the design I was going for, like for it to be like kind of hidden within the roof, but obviously it's not. But and you kind of get that design once the eave is applied to it. So I'm really glad that we're going back and adding that. So yeah, I want to also do over here, because look, we did it over here but not over here for some reason yesterday. Probably too busy talking. Yeah, hold on, we completely forgot to change the texture on this. What the hell? Let's just do that real quick as well. But don't feel like you guys can't talk because I'm going to be distracted. You guys obviously can say whatever you guys want to. I really don't mind at all, because it just makes it a little bit more lively for me as well, that I know that you guys are like interacting and whatnot. But yeah, I'm going to replace this like little chimney area with a half wall sort of unit. Just going to make it a little bit easier when it comes to editing it and stuff. So just hold on, I don't want to do it on top. I want to do it on... See, sometimes I work without the grid, like when the grid is off, and it just punishes me. But yeah, just turn it off real quick just so I can see where I'm placing the this chimney bit. What the hell? What? How is that the same height? I literally used a bigger one. And this one's suddenly taller, I mean shorter. Okay, let's just do this. There we go. Okay, nice. So it kind of just like sticks out a little bit, but that's kind of like the goal, you know. I'm just gonna push that back a little bit so it doesn't intervene with that. Should have pressed shift when I was doing it over here, but it doesn't really matter. And we paint over here. Yep. Oh, there's a plane. Oh, I accidentally placed half walls down here. Let me fix that real quick. There we go. Let me just paint that real quick on the top as well. What the hell? It's almost an hour? What the hell? I feel like I literally just started. And I feel like we haven't even got to doing like the main swimming pool area already, which sucks. I want to move on into doing like little scene areas with the pool and whatnot. It's going to be really fun. You know what? I'm going to also just incorporate a few of these. Wait, oh, I used these for the balcony. Okay, makes sense. I didn't want to use them up here as well, but I think we're going to have to, just for like the sake of consistency. I'm just going to do a few of these. I really like that design actually, just stacking them like next to each other like that. Kind of reminds me of like a hotel sort of like balcony situation. Well, just one second, guys. I'm looking at my my references. So we have another little like line of windows on this side. You know what? Technically, we could do the same design over here that we have over here, since it is pretty much the exact same thing, but it's just a bit bigger. So I'm thinking, what if we just do something like that? That could be pretty cool. That's actually pretty accurate to the real life home. I actually really like this. And are these businesses doors? No, they're not. They're perfectly the exact same size, which kind of sucks. I want something that was a bit taller. So maybe we can try to find something that's a bit taller. Because I'm noticing that the backyard of her home is like the exact same size all the way around. So we're not going to be able to use any like platforms and stuff. So I think, what if we just get rid of this real quick and use something a bit more appropriate? What about tall doors? Let's see what we've got in there. I feel like we don't really have a lot to work with, unfortunately. These are pretty cool. I like these. But they're not really like, I don't know, they're a bit too like, nah, I don't think they're gonna work. Emily, I'm actually working with quite a few reference images. I'm just looking at it from like another screen. I can't really dynamically like update it, but if you guys want another image, I could try to get it up for you guys if you guys want to see it. I have like an image of like the backyard, like on different angles and whatnot, so it's not just the one that I'm showing on the screen. I kind of like showcase that just for like a reference. If someone new joins the chat or like the stream in general, they just know what's going on. Because I feel like they'll just be like, what the hell is this guy building? Like, how does he know what he's building? I feel like that little image just gives you a bit of context, you know, just a bit, just enough to understand what we're doing. You know what I noticed? This entire wall is the paneling, which is quite annoying. So let's just fix that real quick. What the hell? Is this not a wall? Oh, it's not a wall. Hold on. There we go. It's so weird. I probably missed that when I was like editing it and stuff. Let me also paint this, and I think we're gonna also paint this little area. Should be right. Yeah, I just zoomed in on the image. It's not 100% clear, but I think that is pretty much what they were going for. And I'm also noticing that this extends out completely, so you can also see it on this side. And so what we're going to do over here is I'm just going to move this back a little bit. We're going to copy this roof design in particular. We're going to get rid of the eave. We're going to move it in. So this side has the eave, this side doesn't. And yeah, this part is a bit jank, but we could just do that. And there we go. Like, that part is going to always be a little bit messed up, but it gets the design across, you know. And we're also going to use the brick over here for this roof piece in particular. Obviously on this side, it doesn't use the brick, so we're gonna copy this roof once again, place it over here, and just like make it a little bit skinnier, a bit smaller. And this side is just going to incorporate the paneling. There we go. So this side is the roof, I mean the brick, this side is the paneling. So it's just like a nice bit of difference between all the roof pieces. I love the little arch right there. The arch. The arch. I don't know which arch you're referring to, but I like it either way. I'll probably like it. Or maybe I'm just slow. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not noticing it, but one second, guys. I'm trying to. I wonder if the first story is paneling on this side of the wall as well. Especially since it's kind of like not connecting nicely. So I think this part of the home may be paneled as well. Let me look at my other reference real quick. Hold on. Yeah, it seems to be panels everywhere throughout this entire home. She has a lot of these like wooden panel bits, which is quite cool, but Yes. Okay, so this entire compartment is paneled walls. There's no bricks on this side of the home, so let's just change it real quick as well. There we go. So it just like fits a little bit more flush and neatly, and that kind of like worked way more accurately with the real life image. I think this bottom part is also paneling. You can't actually see this bottom part in the real life image, so just gonna assume that it probably is. Oh, I think you're talking about this. Yeah, I really like that too. I feel it's kind of like a nice, unique sort of architectural sort of like addition to this home. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Definitely gonna make some very nice screenshots of that. And that's pretty much where we have the little like garage area over here. We'll have like a little walkway into its like own little like outdoor sort of like garden area for this. Potentially bedroom. I think I'm gonna place over here. I think it's gonna fit nicely with the backyard area and stuff. Is this centered? No. Can you make that skinnier? There we go. Okay, I think we're finally back to the original shaping that I wanted to go for. And I'm noticing that we have a few like little bar areas and stuff like at the bottom here. And this wall is technically in line with this. So it kind of looks like this. There's a really huge overhang. Now I want to make sure that I don't do something like that, because we're not going to have a lot of space for the interior if we do something like that. So maybe just by one tile. I think that's going to just make a big difference. I think a tile literally makes a big difference in the sim, so we're going to go for that. And we still have enough space in the interior as well to make it seem like a purposeful room and space and stuff. So yeah, that should be good. And yeah, this looks like a nightmare right now, but we're gonna figure out. You know what, technically this home is a bit bigger than Kris Jenner's, even though her one kind of looks bigger. This is a huge home. Like, there's gonna be a lot of furnishing to do for me, which is gonna be a nightmare. I'm not gonna lie. Doing like 10 bedrooms is a nightmare sometimes, because you have to make sure that they're all different, and you know, like, people would not like it if every single bedroom looked the same and stuff. So I tried to switch up a little bit. I'm like, what the hell can I do for a bedroom? You know, like, how unique can I make each one from each other? There's only so much that you can do. But yeah, there is another little window on this side of the wall, so I need to get this little business and hobbies one. Kind of like hides beneath the eaves of the roofs, which is pretty cool. But I'm gonna place one right over here. It might look a little bit random in this section, but it's fine. Should we place another one? Technically, we have another one on this side. This could be like a little hallway. Nah, you know what? It's a bit too big for a hallway. Create like a little room over here, I guess, and then one side of it would be a hallway. I guess so. That's not too bad. I mean, it's kind of like the same design on both sides. It's gonna look a little bit weird from the interior, how like they're both different windows. Like this one's the base game one, the other one's business and hobbies. But I don't know. It looks a little bit smaller on that side. Should we just go with these ones? You know what? I think we're gonna go for the base game ones. They're gonna be a bit more compatible. I think they're gonna match, and they're also gonna be compatible. You know, so bit of a win-win for both of us. And can't really see what's like down over here because there's a lot of trees and stuff. So I'm gonna mark a little spot over here just to signify that we're gonna incorporate some sort of like foliage pieces and stuff over here. 100% will do that, Emily. Thank you for that. I'll also make sure to look at the real life images like interior. I have seen it, quite a bit of it, while doing like taking like the images and inspiration and stuff for this home. But I'll try to like be a bit more careful with that and try to incorporate certain elements that she'll probably incorporate within her home. I know she has like a really huge sort of like color coordinated like closet or whatever. Like, I don't know what it was called, like a pantry or whatever, but we'll see how it goes. If it turns out nice, then I'll just like try to incorporate as many accurate features as possible. But yeah, I'm scrolling through a few of my reference images real quick because I have a few of like the backyard, but they're like really weird angles and stuff, so they're not really that great, to be honest. And you know what, I just noticed that we have this like little seat outdoor area over here, and it's literally just not these windows but the snowy escape ones. They're literally just like aligned together. There's like 3 of them all together, so we're just gonna do that real quick. And there's like a little, you know what, it's actually really nice in the real life image. There's like a really cool sort of like, I don't know, like a bridge of like foliage or something like that, and there's like a lot of seating areas and fountains and stuff, but we can't really incorporate that. There's no space, unfortunately, so we're just gonna have to stick with what we got. And I noticed there's like a little door on this side as well, so I'm gonna just yoink this one from over here, place it right over here. There we go. And I think we're gonna also just use this window over here as well. Here we go. I think that just like completes it nicely. This could be like a little bathroom area, I guess. It's like a little compartment. You should have like a little snack bar with a brand. That could be pretty cool. Yeah, we could do something like that. I don't know how on brand it's going to be within The Sims, but we can see. Hey Amarado, welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for joining. Yeah, I am here. Sorry for the late reply. I have like both of the chats open in like 2 different sections, so it just takes a bit more time to see everyone's comments and stuff. But I hope you're having a great Friday afternoon. Just building a bit of Sims builds and stuff for you guys. This entire wall in the real life home is completely empty. I don't know if we should do that. It's going to be a bit weird looking for the Sims, so I don't think we're going to do that. What do you guys think? Shouldn't leave it empty, right? Should add a few things here. We could go for the same design that we have here, like this little thingy with the window action. It's literally I'm sure you heard of The Sims. It's literally just like a simulation game. Like you can either like create your character and like make your like little Sims characters and stuff like that, and you just live out their lives, to be honest. Just like make them go to work, have children, whatever, and stuff like that. And I just like build in The Sims, so I kind of like create small little like buildings and stuff, whether it's like a library, school, gym, whatever, or like houses mainly. I tend to focus on creating more residential builds, and people just like download them and place it within their builds or like within their games in general, and they just like play around with the houses and stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much like the motto of The Sims, to be honest. But yeah, most of the people like tend to create characters and stuff and play around with it, see what they can do, just like have a bit of fun, you know. What was I gonna do over here? I think we need to add a little door on this section of the home. It's like 2, you know. Go like a little outdoor like spa area and stuff, like little yoga mat and stuff. Yeah, I'm having a great day too. Thank you so much for asking. Yeah, 100% definitely is a cozy game. You can definitely like direct everything to be under your control. It's kind of like a story-driven game, but like you're the person creating the story. It kind of makes sense, but at the same time it doesn't. I don't know, like it's more for like creativity-driven people, I guess. Kind of like have to come up with your own storylines and stuff. But yeah, I mainly just love building in The Sims in general. I don't really like dabble into a lot of like gameplay and stuff, like characters and stuff. It gets a bit too complicated and a lot very time-consuming. So yeah, I just like do a lot more of the building, which I feel like looks a lot more enjoyable for me personally. I just like playing around with like making builds and stuff, even creating like family homes and whatnot, that I feel like would be very useful for the community. I'm gonna move, should I move this in a little bit so it just like blends in? You know, that I should have slid, never mind. You know, I think it's about time that we add a roof trim around here, so let's just go for something that feels a bit more appropriate. Hold on. This is pretty cool. It's really subtle, but it kind of like covers that little bottom bit. I tend to go for this one mostly though, like the square roofed one, or this one. Wait, which one is it? No, definitely not that one. Yeah, it's definitely this one, but it just looks a little bit weird on this one. It looks a bit too big. And it's definitely not what I'm trying to go for. It makes the home feel a little bit too simplified. Could go for like a dark grey color potentially though. I don't know, what do you guys think? It contrasts a little bit too much. Should we keep it white? We could go for like a plain white as well, but at the same time, it still very simplifies a home, you know? It's a solo game. There are mods, like people created mods to like make it multiplayer, but I don't know, it's not 100% supported. It's not like an original thing added to the game, so I wouldn't really call it multiplayer. It's just like more of like a single player thing, and it is on the PC and console. It's not on the mobile. It's completely free. It's on the EA app. You can just like download it and just like play with it immediately, which is pretty good. It wasn't free all the time. It actually was like quite recent. I think it's been like a year now that it's been free. So there's like a lot of packs. So there's a lot of DLC. That's the only issue with the game that people complain about. But the game has been out for like a very long time now. It's quite old. So you would find a lot of like the DLC packs like for a bit more cheaper, a little bit more like discounts and like sales and whatnot on the EA app. So it should be a bit more easy to access, you know? Oh, from Florida, nice. I'm from the UK, so yeah, completely different from the US. But I try to stream around a time that is a bit more appropriate for everybody. So for my time, I go around like 10:30 or whatnot, which is a bit late technically, but it's a bit more appropriate for the US people. But I have a lot more US viewers in general, so yeah, just like trying to make sure that it is a bit more appropriate to every single one of them. No Kardashian house without a bag of chips. Don't worry, we're going to be incorporating a lot. I don't think we have actually chips in, like, probably as like a live edit thingy, like a live edit item, but I don't think we have one like build by, you know, like normally. But we'll try to figure something out. We'll try to personalize it and add a few characteristics like that within the build. Yeah, you could just follow me on my socials, Amara Dove. I'm always on my socials. I link them in my, I think they're on my bio everywhere, even on Twitch. You could just follow them on there. And yeah, shameless plug and promo. I do actually post quite a bit on my Instagram and my TikTok and my YouTube shorts, to be fair. If you guys don't like long form content, I do have quite a lot of these like short form reels and stuff that go throughout all of my builds and tours and whatnot. So if you guys like a bit more like fast paced, could definitely check them out. I'm gonna add a few more of these windows. I'm noticing that in a lot of the home, like throughout the exterior, there's not a lot of windows. That's the thing that I'm kind of struggling with, and I'm just wondering if we should incorporate them or not. Like that looks really nice. I think I'm gonna keep that. Like on this side of the home in real life, there's nothing there, like absolutely nothing. So it just looks weird, you know? But I still want to incorporate something. So you know what, we're gonna just use this door and we're gonna get rid of the entrance over here, and we're gonna place a few of these platforms just so it kind of like levels up to it and just adds a bit of variation to the home in particular. Thanks, Amara. Though I'll check out after the stream, because currently need to make sure I finish this build because it needs to be posted soon, so just need to try to get it done quickly and obviously as best as possible. Second, just creating like a nice little fake thingy over here. Oh, just move the column. Let me just move that back real quick. You're my #1 fan. Why does that like XP thing come up or something? Yeah, I don't even know what that is, to be honest. There's like a little like purple crown with like the #1 numbers and stuff like that. I have no clue what that is within like YouTube's streaming thing. To be fair, or I'm kind of like new to like streaming as well, so I don't really know like 100% everything ins and outs of like streaming and stuff. So yeah, just like going with the flow. But yeah, it kind of like resets every single stream for some reason. Like every single person's like XP goes back to like 0 or something. I don't know. What do you think about these roof trims though? I don't know if we should go for something that is thick or should we go for something that's a bit more thin. Nothing is really standing out to me, which is quite annoying. This is pretty cool. It's like a combination, like you can have 2 different colors. I really appreciate that. Thanks so much for following me. Yeah, I tried to make my streams a little bit more enjoyable. I'm trying to work fast as well because I feel like it might be a bit boring to like stop every now and then. So I'm gonna add this what is this called? This roof trim around certain areas where it doesn't stick out too much, which I think is gonna be fine. And if we don't like it, we'll just end up changing it later on. But it's gonna make it feel a lot more complete. Oh, really forgot to add something there. Let me just add this darker metal roof. Wait a minute. This, there we go. Let's add this darker metal roof in these certain areas. Oh wow, you play quite a lot of games. That's pretty cool. Stardew, yeah, I really want to get, I kind of want to try Stardew. I've never played it before, which I feel like is a crime. Definitely want to try that out. I don't know if it's 100% my type of game. There's a lot of like, it's very cozy and like very farm based. I kind of play games that are a bit more like action, bit more competitive. I personally play, yeah, I do have a Discord. I don't have anything to share at the moment though, unfortunately. I don't really share that out with people because it's kind of like a personal one. But if I ever made a page, I'll probably announce it and stuff on my socials. But I currently only kind of like play competitive games. Like I sometimes play like League and Valorant and stuff, but that's pretty much it, like within like my spare time. But then most of the time I'm just like trying to get as many builds down for you guys on The Sims. But yeah, it's kind of like a nice little juxtaposition between all the games that I play. Sims is like completely chill. It's not really like down to like my own time and whatnot. And then competitive games, I have to like really focus on them and like I can't like get out of my seat, you know? So kind of like a nice bit of difference between both of those games. Yeah, Valorant's fun, man, but honestly, I'm not the best at aiming. I'm gonna be very honest. Like I'm not that great at it, but I just enjoy it, you know? Like that's the only thing that matters, to be honest. As long as I enjoy it, it's not too bad. I think I peaked like so embarrassing to say, I think I peaked gold. That was my highest rank for Valorant, which kind of sucks, but I don't really play it that much. That's the thing. Like I don't really get on it as much. I kind of started playing like when it first came out, and then besides that I didn't really bother going back into it, to be honest, like competitively. Am I playing on PC or PS? Oh, I'm playing on PC, in case you are wondering. I'm playing on the PC. I think you can see my mouse, right? Should be pretty easy to tell, but yeah, it is the PC. One second, I'm trying to find a good reference real quick because still don't know if I want to. Hold on, I found a really good image of this like little side bit real quick. This door thing is technically on this one, but I can't make it on this one because then it wouldn't sit properly, like because we run out of space at the edge of the lock. So that's not that great. Do I have a gaming PC? Yeah, I custom built it like a few years ago and I really love it. It's pretty much like the best thing that I ever created. I really enjoy it, and yeah, it's really fun. If I had so much money, I'll literally build PCs just in like my own time, but I don't have that kind of expense, so it's not a hobby I can take up. So did you build your own PC? Is it fully custom? Yeah, I built my own. I think it was like a really fun project to do, so yeah, I wanted to take it. It was like a nice little challenge. I think I was like 16 when I first ever built it. I think I was around like those ages, like 16, 17, pretty young. But I was really like invested into it and I really wanted to create it. And I was able to do it and I was really happy with it. Emily, what other games do I play? Asking from YouTube. As I mentioned like a few moments ago, I play a bit of League, a bit of Valorant. You guys might not know it because it's like so opposite from the Sims, and I feel like you guys would not enjoy it at all. But I kind of grew up playing those kind of games quite a lot, and I kind of just like got on the Sims because of my sister, because she used to play it when we used to be really young. I used to play like, you know, like the CD day eras, you know, when you guys used to go to like a game shop and like buy CDs for like the games and stuff. I used to personally get a game called Roller Coaster Tycoon. I don't know if you guys know that, but it's like a tycoon game and you can like build your own roller coaster park and stuff. And then my sister used to get like the Sims 2 like late night packs and whatnot for the Sims 3 and Sims 2, and that's pretty much where I like was like, you know what, let me just try her game out, see how it is. And even though it wasn't, I kind of struggled with keeping my Sims alive, so I enjoyed building a lot more. So that is pretty much like kind of like what stuck with me from like a younger age. That's kind of like the main story behind me like getting into Sims, to be honest. My PC specs are quite old, they're not that new. I have a 16GB RAM, I have a 2070 Super, it's not new. I have a simple fan, it's not really that special. My CPU is the i7-9700K, and that is pretty much it for like the I don't remember my motherboard. It was like an Asus Z390E. I think it's discontinued right now, which kind of sucks, but that is kind of like the motherboard that I went for. Went with like an NZXT case. But yeah, I built this like 5 years ago, I think. Now it's not new, so it's been working very well, to be honest. Like, it pretty much runs everything that I need at the moment, so don't really have any plans on changing it, to be honest. How many subscribers on YouTube? Around like 9.3k. So yeah, relatively small, but definitely way bigger than my my Twitch at the moment. It's a bit too small right now, but I'm really new to Twitch because I just recently started doing like streams and stuff. Had different parts, yeah, so many different parts. Like, imagine like all the different storage units, the RAM itself, the fan, the CPU, the motherboard, the graphics card. What else? The power supply. Yeah, that was another annoying thing. The power supply is like something that you have to be really careful about if you like build your own computer. You have to make sure that it like carries enough watts throughout the entire system, because it can fry up your components and like damage them in the future. So yeah, you have to be really careful with like making sure that everything is fine. I kind of got like a bit of an overkill battery just because I didn't want anything to like get damaged, and in the future if I wanted to add some new components to my computer, it wouldn't like have any issues because it would like reach that demand, if that makes sense. Nah, I don't use curved monitors. I hate curved monitors a lot. I don't really like it personally. I just feel like they're not really that useful. I don't know, like personally for me it's not it. Oh really, Emily? That's pretty cool. I honestly I don't know if you heard a moment ago, the GPU that I use is 2070 Super. So yeah, it's not a new one, it's relatively old. I think it's about like 5 years now, that GPU, but I really love it and it works perfectly fine for me, and I don't really want to change it. If I ever had any issues, I would have changed it, but it's fine, to be honest. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Really glad to see you on the stream today as well. What do you do in TFT? Like, I know you kind of like, it's like a, I've played TFT quite a bit, like when it first came out, but I haven't played like it with like the new updates and stuff. I'm sure it's been a bit better and a bit more balanced, because I remember before, like when it first ever came out, it was so crazy. Like people would just like destroy you immediately, but I wasn't really good at TFT, so I never played it ever again. I just started it when it first came out and then I just never did it again. But yeah, I have a few people on League, like who are my friends who play quite a bit of TFT, yeah, but I don't know, I just really can't get into it again. Like I'm like, you know what, League is enough. Like League is stressful enough. I don't need to add TFT to the list. But I do sometimes get onto the battle pass and just like unlock a few things here and there, because they're completely free and like anyone could just do it. But yeah, I literally grew up with like League ever since I was like, what, like 13 years old, which is quite crazy. It's been like, my account's like over like 10, 11, 12 years, which is crazy. Like I really enjoyed playing it throughout like all of my years, so I just always stuck by it. But yeah, it's like a really nice complete difference between like the Sims. Like you guys already know, Sims is like super chill, doing whatever you want and stuff. Your setup costs 3k? That is insane. That is a lot. But yeah, if you have any suggestions, I'm down for anything. Like you could just recommend it. I'll take it into consideration for sure. Yeah, League is definitely a game where like you can enjoy it with friends. I think that's the main reason why they added that like ranked flex sort of thing, just so that you guys can get like a bit more interactive with like friends and stuff. But personally, I'm more of like a solo queue, duo queue type of guy. I really like enjoying to like play on my own. I know my teammates always get a bit don't want to swear, but they're a bit horrible occasionally. So you know, they make climbing very difficult. But you know, it's just like a nice little pastime. Like it's not like a thing that I like stressed about so much, you know, like it's not that deep. Yeah, and I feel like I could say the same with Valorant as well. Valorant's really fun to play with real life friends as well, especially if you like 5-stack. Like you guys can just like all just like literally just, you don't have to like you know, like everyone's know what they're doing and whatnot, like you know their skill set. Wait, hold on. In the real life home, we have like a little barbecue area over here. So I'm guessing we don't have any doors on this section. Oh god, we really need to get done with these windows because I hate doing windows for these builds. They're so complex. What did I want to do? Hold on. So we have this room. We have this room. It's going to stay empty. I don't really want to add anything else, you know, like this area is completely empty in the real life home, but you know what, for our home, let's just add a few of these. You know, because I want this home to have like as much accessibility as possible, so I'm going to add a few of these doors occasionally like throughout the area. I think it's going to look a lot nicer. I really like these sliding glass doors, but they're a little bit too much, you know? Like they're a bit too in your face. Tried to stack a few of these businesses and hobbies ones. They don't look too bad. Or do you guys like this like more plain and simple? What do you guys think? Custom logo banner, please. 100%, yeah. If you have any suggestions, like you just mentioned, like the banner and stuff, I'll look through them again. I've actually created my own my banners and stuff like that. Obviously, my Twitch is like so fresh. Like I've tried to just like, I kind of just like did the bare minimum for it at the moment because it's really new and nobody's really seeing it at the moment. So it's just like whatever, it's fine. But yeah, I'll definitely take that into consideration for sure. But yeah, most of the stuff that I've done at the moment is completely my own. I really haven't like got anyone else to do it because I can do it myself. So it's just like a few of these banners and whatnot, I did it through like Blender and stuff. It's like adding 3 models together. It's like rendering it out and stuff. Pretty easy to do, like it's not that deep to be honest for me. But let me see real quick. You know what? This little room area is a bit bigger in real life home, but I don't know. We just I'm gonna add a few more windows over here, even though we can't really see them in the real life home. I'm just gonna do that just so we can just like get rid of these window things because I had enough of placing windows everywhere. So we could try to also incorporate a few of these doors on the sides. I know it's gonna be a bit crazy right now, but with these doors, but we're gonna cover them up with like a lot of thingies anyway. Hold on, wait. Let me add a. Let me add this real quick over here. And you know what? This wall looks so bare, you guys, but it's literally how the real life home looks. Like, I don't know like what to tell you guys. Let's also incorporate the fireplace bits before I forget. Let me see. See, something like this could work very nicely over here, just like raising it up a little bit. What color did they go with? They kind of went with like a grayish color within the real life home, so we could potentially try to find something that fits it a little bit more appropriately. Kind of reminds me of this design a little bit more technically, so you know what, how about we go for this one instead? It kind of pokes out a little bit, so let me just lower it. I think that's max that we can lower it. We could do just move it about, to be honest. Just do that. Can we stack them essentially? Because I want to fill out the space as much as possible, you know? We could do something like this. What do you guys think? That's not too bad. It's not what I was kind of going for, but I like the line sort of like design, like around the actual like chimney itself. Kind of fits the real life image a little bit more accurately. Amara Dove, I don't mind. Like, you can send it if you want to. I don't really mind. Let me see. I kind of want to get rid of this, to be honest. I want to put something else over here. It's not really fitting the vibe that I'm trying to go for. I feel like we're quite limited with like the chimney options that we have in the game, to be honest. Like, even though they are quite functional, like they lay out steam and whatnot, it's pretty cool. It's kind of annoying that we there's not that many options, you know. Would it be weird to place two side by side? Because I kind of want it to look like a square, you know. It could look pretty cool. I don't know, man. That's not really giving what I was expecting. I don't know what we should go for the chimney areas. It's kind of puzzling. There's not that many options, you know. This one's not bad, but it's still not got that vibe of the home, you know. Nah, that ain't gonna work. I think we're gonna stick with this one for now, and if we don't like it, we'll just change it later on. But for now, I think it's gonna be the solid choice. I think do this. Hold on. I really want to merge these for some reason. Like it's gonna be. It's gonna look way nicer once we merge it. I really don't like that stony texture that it has beneath it though. Like, it's not really matching anything that we have in the home overall, which is giving it away, you know. Should we just leave it for now? And then we'll just go back to it in a minute. Let me add the other one that we have over here as well though, real quick. You know what, I'm going to use the tallest wall height over here. It's just going to be a bit more thingy. It's going to make a little bit more sense over here. There we go. And then I'm just going to copy this roof thingy, the decal fireplace. Why was it going so high up though? There we go. Okay, it's because of the grid thingy, the grid level. Yeah, that's kind of like the main reason why I hate having it off, because it doesn't tell me where it's going. Because I mean, I guess that's the whole point of it. But I like the clear view of it, you know, like I don't like having it obstruct my view. I don't know, maybe you guys build with like the grid on. How do you guys build? You know, do you guys keep it on? Do you guys leave it off? Why the hell does that get rid of that? That's so odd. Hell. It's a bit weird. Anyway, let's just do that and not touch it. That's fine. Let me see. Okay, you know what? For this flooring for the main patio area, I'm thinking, you know what, we could potentially go for. Let me see. There's one in particular. There we go. This one's pretty cool. It's pretty muted. It's not like the same like the royalty one, but kind of gives it a bit more like a clean, sleek vibe. Bit nicer than the royalty one, to be honest. Not too bad. And I'm thinking we can also just make a little housing around it as well. Let me just do that real quick. Oh my god, it's already 12:30. That's crazy. Still want to stream though, because I'm feeling fine now. I'm not really too tired. And tomorrow's Saturday, so it's not really that big of a deal. You know, oh no, that looks horrible. For some reason, I thought if I just surround it by a few of these fence pieces, it's going to look pretty cool, but no, definitely not. Let me change it up a little bit. Let's change these floors and walls real quick for the pool area real quick. There we go. Just making it a bit more darker, adds a bit of that blue definition that we want from the pool. And let's see what else we got. We need to, oh yeah, we already did that. Okay. What else can we do? I don't want to move on into adding the foliage before we actually get the main structure down as best as possible, you know. This part of the home looks so sad. Like this really huge area and there's only like these two square windows. I don't know, I really want to like change it up a little bit, but at the same time I don't want to mess it up, you know. Kind of looks like a face now with the roof piece and stuff, but I'm not really sure I want to do that at the moment. Let's go to this side though and add a nice little garage area for the door. And let me go back to that little image real quick. And there's pretty much like a one little garage door on this side. It kind of blends in nicely with the wooden thingy wall. So we could go for this one. It's pretty perfect. I mean, it's not even from the same pack and it works very nicely. And we're going to add a lot of foliage and stuff around here. So that's the main reason why this area is a bit empty looking, but that's completely fine. So let's get rid of this completely. We're going to add a lot of foliage and stuff around here. And there's like a lot of fans and like bins and whatnot surrounding this like little compartment. So it kind of makes sense. So let's just add a little open area over here. And let's drag this gray flooring all the way around real quick. I think that looks pretty cool. And this will be where we have like the bins and stuff like that. So let me just add that real quick as well before I forget. It's like the outdoor bins, you know, because it kind of makes sense where we have it next to the garage and whatnot. And let me also connect these floorings together. Go back to bins, and there's a really nice one from businesses and hobbies. This is a really nice bin, but I don't want to use it because maybe someone doesn't have businesses and hobbies, you know. So we're gonna go for the base game ones. And I say business so quickly that like it doesn't come across 100% correctly, so I do apologize for that. But yeah, I just try to talk quickly for some reason, but sometimes it has consequences, you know. But yeah, I'm just gonna add a few of these going around this entire area. Nothing too crazy, just gonna add a few of them. In the entire home, like in the real life home, there's like so many, which is crazy, but we're gonna limit ourselves with how many we place. They're not even that functional in The Sims anyway, so don't really need them. Let me get one of these windows. There we go, over here. And let's just place it over here. And let me see. Just something like that, you know? Subtle, but it works. And we're gonna add a little door over here. You know why? Because it's just gonna make a lot more sense. Like, it's gonna flow nicely within the, like, since we have like the garage over here and whatnot, it's gonna work very great. And I'm thinking, I really want to turn this into a bedroom, you guys, you know? Like, I want there to be as many bedrooms as possible, even on the first floor. Feels like a really nice, spacious room. We can have like a little fireplace over here, with, like chimney and stuff. Everything's like aligning very nicely together, in my opinion. I really like that. So yeah, we'll turn this into like a little bedroom. We can have like an ensuite over here. I love how I'm doing the floor plan because I know it's gonna be an issue in the future. So I'm gonna try to like map it out as best as possible before it's too late. So yeah, we could create like a little ensuite over here. This garage area looks shockingly small, but I think it's fine. It's going to be cool. And then these are going to be, I can worry about that later on. Let me move that back up. You know what? Would it be crazy to surround this entire, no, it would. I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna go do that. I was thinking like maybe we could surround the entire area, but nah, let's not do that. Let me just do something like this real quick. We'll add a bit of foliage around here. I think it's gonna look a lot nicer. And I think this is pretty much it. Even though I really want to incorporate a few more like doors and windows and stuff throughout the entire space, I feel like her real life home doesn't incorporate that, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to do that, you know. Obviously I would if it looks super bare like we did in like these certain areas and stuff, but for the most part I think we're done, you know, with the windows and stuff. If you guys have any suggestions, obviously because we're live, let me know and I'll gladly take them into consideration and like try to incorporate them within the build. I think it will be very useful as well for you guys if you guys notice like any like little empty gaps and stuff. This area seems a little bit empty as well, you know. I'm noticing a few of these, you know, like they're like completely empty in the real life home, but for the Sims it just doesn't look great. It looks like an unfinished build, you know. Trying to make sure that it doesn't look like that. I completely forgot to add a roof trim around here, so let me just do that real quick. There we go. And oh, over here as well, let me do that. There we go. And over here, seem to forget them a lot on these like single story ones, but there we go. We finally got it done. And you know what, we can actually add a few foliage pieces around this entire area. I wouldn't mind that, to be honest, like just starting off right now. Let me see what we could do real quick. There we go, just like adding some artificial grass right on top of this platform area, because we're going to cover it up with like a lot of foliage pieces anyway, so it's going to look super busy. And I hope it does actually end up turning out to be like the real life home. You know what, this already looks very aesthetic, like right from this angle. I feel like it looks super accurate to the real life image. What do you guys think? I feel like it looks pretty cool. But yeah, let me just see what we can incorporate right now. I'm seeing a lot of like very vibrant looking plants and stuff throughout this entire build. So let me see what we have for this build. Let's see. So we have, I definitely want to use a lot of these like grass pieces, but not too much, just like a few of them scattered throughout this entire build. I know we should definitely use a few of these potentially, or maybe not, I don't know. We'll just see how it kind of like matches together. I definitely want to use vibrant plants, but I'm noticing that the most of the colors are white throughout this entire build. So, and a lot of these like smaller sort of plants like these, you know. So let me see, what can we do with this? There's so many really nice plants, like these ones in particular are going to work very nicely. If I just size them down a little bit like that, so they're all on the same size and scale, it's going to look very nice. Oh, looks like a really huge swamp thing. This might not work, but it looks pretty cool. This is the same thing as the other thing, so we don't need to bother with that. And this is pretty cool, like little like patches of grass and stuff. I think this comes in like pretty much all of the packs, so these are very nice. We can use these, maybe not that. This is pretty cool. It's like a smaller version of that. Let's see what else we got. There we go. We have these like nice white or like flowery type of bushes. I don't know if they're going to be that useful though. These are very nice. Wow. Okay, these like white ones. We're going to be using a lot of white plants, but like a few of these colored ones beneath like beneath them, you know? It's going to look pretty cool. Gonna make them stand out a lot more. But yeah, let me just select a few more. Oh, these are pretty cool. These are like different colors, but they're also like very muted. These are going to work very nicely as well. These are nice. These are not too bad. Trying to pick some more assets that look a little bit more realistic. You know what, the plant outside over here kind of looks like this one, so I'm going to place this over here before I forget. I'm going to move back over here, and this is pretty cool. We can use a few of these. They kind of look like the lavender plants, but they're not. Oh wow, these are very nice. This is like very busy looking foliage. This is gonna work very nicely for this build. And I hate that I have to use like the fake grass for like the tiling and stuff, but I still feel like it's gonna look very nice either way. So yeah, I think just the only thing that we need now. Let me get rid of that bin search real quick. Let me add a these. There we go. These are very nice. They didn't work in the other home that we created, Drake's home, but they will work very nicely for this one because they're going to be covered up quite a bit anyway. Use a bit of this, and I'm noticing there's like bits of patches of like dirt and grass like right beneath where we have the platform area in the real life home. So I feel like these could be pretty cool, like just sizing them down like this. That is going to work very nicely. So yeah, we're going to just use a combination of all of these foliage pieces and just make it work very nicely. And you know what, surprisingly, even in the real life home, there's like these patches of grass, like these bushes and shrubs and stuff on the pavement. And it doesn't look like there's any dirt beneath it, which is really weird. You know, it looks like it's AI generated, but it's not. It's real life home. So just gonna scatter a few of these around the entire area, and to avoid this little like corner bit, I'm just gonna add a few of this. Oh, this is gonna be so annoying. Let me just move this back. All the consequences of using these half walls, but they're kind of worth it to be honest for this build. Let me just do the same thing for this area real quick. There we go. Move it back. And that should be good. There we go. Okay. Now I want to use, there we go, where is it? This one. This one's really quick, just like has a combination of all of the things that I literally just picked out, which is quite crazy. But I'm going to still lower it down, scale it down a little bit, sorry. And even though they're going to be a bit small, they're still going to be very noticeable, you know. For a very monochromatic home like this, it's going to be pretty cool. And I'm noticing these sort of like more vibrant plants are kind of like on this side of the home. I'm just going to add a few of these like this, and it might look a little bit weird right now, really repetitive, but we're going to go back and adjust it a bit here and there. Let me just place a few of these around. and I want a bit more of these like more plain white looking bushes and shrubs, but I couldn't really find any at the moment, so we're just going to use this one around the area. You know, they're a bit too dark though. They're not like, the leaves themselves are a little bit too dark. I feel like we need to do something else. This one's pretty cool, but the leaves once again are a bit too dark for this build. I don't want to use like these like very vibrant ones, but they won't work nicely for this build. We can use a few of these the vines. These could look pretty cool, especially since they're very prominent throughout the real life home. Those are pretty cool, and I think we can also use a few of them on this side as well. And I think we can just add a few of these dirt pieces, like the grassy areas around here, and there we go. Like something like this. I know it looks really crazy right now, but once I align them properly, it's going to look really cool and very accurate to the real life image. To be honest, for a very like luxurious celebrity home, this area is like well taken care of, don't get me wrong, but it's not like 100% sophisticated, you know, like for someone who has OCD like she claims, and like, you know, really wants to like make everything like accurate and stuff. This part is like quite messy looking, like a little garden area, which honestly I like a lot because it makes the house feel so much more lively. And I know it looks a little bit crazy right now, but trust the process, guys. We're definitely gonna make it look a lot nicer eventually. Let me just add a few of these around here. And this grassy thing is pretty much like scattered throughout this like main area anyway. So you know what, right after I do this grassy bit, I'm gonna make sure to save as well, because I haven't saved in a while. So I want to make sure I ain't gonna lose anything that we just created in this stream, which will be very horrible, because I have no idea where I place those extra windows and stuff. But yeah, I'll obviously like go back and like adjust it if I feel like these green bits are a little bit too much. Like when I get like a bit more like clear-eyed, you know, like, you know, sometimes when you do something and you like think it's like amazing, and then you go back to it and you're like, oh, you know what, I don't know what I was thinking when I was doing that, you know. So might have one of those moments, but I don't think so, because I think they kind of like match the home, like based off of the reference image that I have up there for you guys. Pretty accurate. They're a bit more like bunched up though, they're not like this, but I still feel like this gets the image across, especially when you look at it like this and from far away. It looks pretty cool. I like that. Hi Mystic maybe, welcome to the stream. Just building a fellow celebrities like a celebrity, just like a celebrity's home. Khloe's, obviously, as you guys have probably seen from the title. I said fellow because I was like, you know what, the Kardashians are really known on this channel by now, because I've been building a lot of their homes lately. Started off with Kylie's, and then Kim's, and then Chris's, and then back to Kylie's, and then just like doing a lot of them throughout the live streams, which has been pretty fun. Kind of challenging though, to be honest, because they are very complex to build. As you guys can see, they're very detailed. Yeah, I think I'm gonna scout a few of these. Don't want to overuse these, but I want to place them in certain areas. Gonna place a few of these like bush looking things around the area, nothing too crazy, just enough to like cover up. And they're looking a little bit too dark at the moment, but I think they'll be fine. There is so much foliage like throughout the town, crazy. Like there's a lot going on. I'm gonna add a few. Should we add a few of these lavenders like like along the wall? I don't know if it will look good though. These might not look too bad, to be honest. Not too bad. But it's not really what I was trying to go for, you know? There's a lot going on. Could try to use something like this to like cover up much of the space, potentially. I mean, it is a big mess in real life, so kind of fits what we're trying to go for, I guess. You know, I kind of like how we have a few of these colored plants just like being exposed around the area. I think that could be pretty cool to just place around. So I'm going to copy a few of them and just like try to place them like in between. They're very subtle when it adds detail, but I think it's better than just like keeping it purely like greenish, you know? And I noticed that in certain heights they're a bit different, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we're just going to try to add a few of those around here. Well, that looks really nice actually. Tall, like grass thingy. I actually really like that. It makes it look very vibrant and bright. Let's add a bit of these vines around here as well. You know, it could be pretty cool to just add a few of these lavenders around the area. Nothing too major, but still something. Rather than just like making like a whole soldier line all the way around the walls. I think just adding a few of these here and there will help a little bit. I don't know what else to add here though, to be honest. Like, I know it's like the same things over and over, but I'm gonna switch up a little bit for the Sims. I want more white plants, like more like white vibrant ones, but we don't really have that. It's a bit tricky. Let me see if I skipped over a few like white plants and stuff, but we have something like this, but this is like very the like actual flowers themselves are like very white this time. Like they stand out so much, which aren't too bad, but we ain't going for that sort of aesthetic. We're trying to go for something completely different. Let me see. Let's see. We have that same thing. We have this. It's just a bigger thing. Let's see. Let's go into the flower section. Let's see if there's anything in there. Surely there's like a big sort of like white sort of plant thingy, no? I could use a few of these, to be honest. These ones, they're pretty tropical looking. They could fit nicely within this home. Obviously sizing them down a little bit. To be fair though, the home doesn't feel tropical though, you get me? Like, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of like palm trees and whatnot around. Like, there's nothing like that major. So we could try to potentially just use oh, these are actually really nice. We could do a few of these. I'm gonna add a bit more foliage and then call it a day, because it is getting a little bit late, but don't want to leave you guys without, which is like doing it half done, you know. Just want to try to get as much done as possible, at least for like the front area, make it feel a little bit more complete. What other plants do we have over here? These ones are pretty good. Hold on, let me use them towards the back potentially. These are pretty good. And once again, we could try to use this thingy, but just raise it down a little bit, size it down, and just try to use it around here, just to fill up the space a little bit more. There we go. And I think I'm going to do the same thing over on this little corner. And you know what? I'm going to use this white plant. I'm just going to add a few of these around the area. Nothing too crazy though. Something like this, like 3 in like every single like little shrubby area, you know. That's not too bad. It kind of like stands out a lot, but it's not too bad. Like when it has color. I say color and it's like pitch white, but like ice white, not pitch white. There we go, something like that. I think that definitely adds a bit of variation to this home for sure. You know, I'm gonna add the can't forget to add concrete beneath here. Oh my god, that's gonna be such a pain to change or like move around, but let's see if it's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work. Oh no, I should have added the flooring beforehand. It's fine, I'll fix that in my own time, but I mean, I can sort of fix it, but like it's really tricky, you know. How about if I just move this real quick? I don't even have space to move anywhere. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. How about if I just move it like 1 by 1 tile? There we go. Just a tiny bit so I can just cover these little bits. Now if I just move it back now, is it gonna cause any issues? Hopefully not. Kind of all got squished, but now we have a cleaner edge piece, so let me just fix that real quick. See what else we can incorporate. Just a last few bits and touches and stuff before we complete the stream. Let me see. These are actually really nice, but they're too big, you know, like they don't fit. Gonna make it turn into like a jungle or something. We don't want that, so gonna have to get away from those. Let's add a few of these around here. Just mixing a bit of grass. There we go. Just making it feel a little bit more complete. And I want to leave this area a little bit more empty because we're going to add walkways and pathways and stuff. So if I go to rugs, I believe it is where is it? There's like a little like stony sort of texture pathway thing, which is really cool. I believe it came from the poolside splash kit or whatever it was. I believe it came out like last year or something. There we go, these ones. But let me just line these up a little bit and then we'll just call it a day just by like adding a few of these fence pieces around here. Just make it feel a little bit more polished, you know? And yeah, I think I'm gonna call the stream there for today because I feel like we done quite a lot, even though it might not look like it. We pretty much finished all of the windows, placements and stuff. We did all of the walls, the wallpapers and textures and stuff. Made the backyard area as accurate as it could be, obviously, and I'll obviously add like all the furniture and stuff like that later on as well. But yeah, I feel like we made like quite a bit of progress, to be honest, for this build, and I'm really happy with how it's turning out. It's definitely looking very accurate. You guys can let me know what you guys think in the comment sections or in chat. But yeah, I'm super happy with it. And let me just move this real quick. Let me just fix this. Yeah, see, if I keep finding issues, I'm just gonna stay longer and longer. But yeah, I'm sure everyone is pretty much tired, and it's been a long Friday, so I'm gonna slowly head out. But once again, thank you to every single person who has stopped by on the stream. I really do appreciate it a lot. I'll probably try to stream again either on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, pretty much any single day within the week. Try to like stream along those nights and stuff like that. Probably try to start the streams a little bit earlier as well, especially since I know a lot more of my fellow UK members are also watching as well. So yeah, just taking that into consideration. But once again, thank you so much to every single one of you guys who have joined, and I really do appreciate every single one of you genuinely. So thank you so much again, and I'll see you guys in my next video or live stream, who knows. But yeah, thanks so much and have a great weekend.